Hi everyone, my name is James Ivey with Studiospares. Advances in technology have changed the way we record, mix and master music. It's no longer necessary to record in a big professional recording studio. With a modernish laptop, a small audio interface, a pair of headphones and a microphone, it's possible to turn pretty much any space into somewhere to make a high quality recording. But what if you want to take your audio recording and production process to the next level? Maybe recording 1 or 2 tracks at a time is no longer enough for you. Maybe you want to record your mate's entire band in one pass. Maybe you want to build your own recording space, and the idea of working on a recording console not unlike this one is something that really excites you. Well, the team at Studiospares are now working with British console manufacturers Audient to enable you, if you want to record and mix with a proper analogue mixing console in what some might call a more traditional recording console workflow. In this video, I'm going to give you a very quick overview of Audient's latest console, the ASP8024 Heritage Edition. I'll show you some of the things I love about it, and I'll show you how it fits into my continuously evolving hybrid workflow. So let's get cracking, as we have a lot of ground to cover. In front of me, I have a 24-channel, 24-bus Audient ASP8024 Heritage Edition console with the optional patch bay. 8024 is a proper what's called inline console, meaning each channel can, if you require it to, handle both incoming signals from the mic pre and from your DAW or multi-track tape machine at the same time. If you're thinking you need more than 24 channels, don't panic. Audient can build you a console with up to 72 channels, which can offer you up to 160 inputs when it's time to mix. The console channels are laid out in a very conventional way, but don't let that fool you into thinking this is an old school desk. Just under the tape return trims, we'll come back to this shortly, we have the main mic pre and line level input with gain control and insert points to enable us to route external hardware like compressors and limiters into the signal. Each channel offers 48 volt phantom power, a high pass filter and phase invert. The Audient ASP mic pre sounds stunning. It's clean and clear, but with just enough character to make it sound interesting. Not as dark as, say, a Neve 1073 or as bright as an API. The Audient mic pre sound great on drums, voice, guitars, acoustic instruments, pretty much anything you're going to want to record. The signal then hits the short fader. This sets the level going to the multi-track bus outs, our DAW sends if you like, via the routing section. We then have the ability to assign up to 24 outputs. This means if we want, we can drive the inputs nice and hard to get loads of that lovely analog console tone, but not overcook the input to the audio interface, which, well, does not sound so nice. The returning signal from the DAW first hits the tape trim pot, then hits the long fader. I tend to think of these two faders as the send to my DAW on the short fader and the return on the long fader. But if you want to ride your recordings with a long fader as you record, you can flip these so the send becomes the long fader. Or you can copy what's hitting the short fader to the long fader for extra processing. The console features 12 auxiliary sends, which you can configure up to 6 per channel. The desk has a split EQ with the high and low frequency shelving EQ being separate from the 2 parametric midbands, meaning you can assign the mids to the long fader and the HF and LF to the short fader, or vice versa. Or, as I do, keep the EQ in the long fader path. I'm monitoring with EQ, but I'm not committing it to the track. The master section has 4 stereo effects returns, each with solo and mutes, as well as 24 bus master trims, to make sure we hit your DAW with the best possible level. We have 2 Q masters and 12 auxiliary masters, each with solo buttons. We have our live space, speaker controls and artist mix, headphones to you and me, routing and level controls, each with solos. We then have the control room and monitor controls with 4 input and 4 output routing choices, along with main monitor controls including mono check, cut, dim and left or right selection. The desk features a built-in 4-frequency test oscillator, so again, you can make sure your signal integrity is as good as it can be. We also have the solo in place and solo level controls. We then have our 8 subgroups, which I use as extra faders for mixdown, turning my 24-channel desk into a 32-channel model for mixing. We have the talkback and communications section, meaning we can take the input from the talkback mic and route this into the studio speakers, the artist foldback, or to our DAW channels for communication. And now for what I think of as the two crowning glories of the 8024 Heritage Edition, the bus compressor and the tone shaping. The bus compressor features the 5 standard controls: threshold, makeup gain, attack, release and ratio, but with the added bass expand button. Get your mix sounding sweet, then apply the bus compressor. Or, as I do, mix into it. It's on all the time when I'm mixing, just to give me that instant mix glue. I don't hit it hard, but it just adds something very special. Next to the master fader, we have the 3 mix tone shaping buttons, marked retro iron, low bump, and high lift. These might as well just be called the 3 makes it better buttons. Get your mix sounding as sweet as you can, and then just take it to another level with some gentle EQ and transformer tone from the massive transformers that are just under the surface of the console. No need to worry about how it works, it just works. While the patch bay is indeed optional and you can access all the I/O from the rear of the frame, it's not the most efficient way to work or manage your cabling. One of the main benefits of the ASP8024 is the fact that you can tap the signal in so many different places in the signal path. You also get 144 user channels on the built-in patch bay, so you can bring your external rack gear into the desk with ease and with nice short patch cables. At the moment, my studio's in between homes, but you can see how the patch bay normally looks when I'm fully up and running. And of course, the track you've been listening to was fully mixed using this console. I love working on a large format console. For me, it's so much faster. Assigning routing, setting levels, and setting up headphone mixes is so much faster on a real life desk. Yes, I know it can be done from within the DAW or from the control panel of your interface, but when you're trying to work fast with a number of demanding artists, a console is the way to go, and troubleshooting is so much easier when you can see what's happening with your mix. So if you're thinking that the Audient ASP8024 could be something to get your analog urges a-tingling, then you should talk to the team at Studiospares. Not only will they be able to give you help and advice on the console, but also be able to help you spec up everything from the patch bay and cabling through to even finance or leasing the desk, and everything else you may need. Hit them up via studiospares.com or even the old-fashioned telephone 020 8208 9930. But for now, my name's James Ivey, and I'll see you again very soon.